Hello there everyone, my name is Crazy Caleb and welcome to Airstrikes. This is the way the module looks. It's got a bit of a sort of like emerald green background in a way. It's got a series of arrows, it's got a radar scanning with a crosshair in the center of it, and it's got a message that will be stating an opinion. So, what this module is all about is this. I'll give you a little bit of a background of what this module is from. This manual was from the Keep Writing So Nobody Explodes rebooted round during the Strike or Solve round. So effectively, what you could do is you could choose a theme between Strike or Solve, and that was sort of the theme that you would be going for that round, and you'd write this manual. Now, this was the winning manual for that round, and I decided to make it. This was a modeling part that I did, and Fang did the rest of the coding portion of this. I think it turned out pretty gosh darn good, if I do say so myself. And that is the story behind this. So now this module is quite funny, and there's a reason why this won, because someone is disagreeing with you on the internet. To solve the module, call an airstrike on their house. So now, what we need to do is we now need to figure out where we're going to be bombing. And that's actually, and this should be a fairly simple one to do. This is actually quite easy to understand. So you have a target's address narrowed down to 16 neighborhoods. The missile starts aimed at a random neighborhood in that area, which varies from module to module. So now, what we have here is we have the series of different neighborhoods are based off of different themes that you might be familiar with based off of different modules. We've got Simonsboro, Cycle Hills, Brush Oaks, Mystic Square, Talkington, Blind Valley, Digit Springs, 14, Question Park, Flashing Heights, Alarmberg, English Crest, Sweet Falls, Match Acres, Black Knoll, and Pass Wood. All these are based off of some variant of a module. Simonsboro is based off of any Simon module. Cycle Hills is based off of the many different cycles that we have. KTANE, Caesar, Playfair, for example. Brush Oaks is based off of Brush Strokes. Mystic Square is based off of quite literally Mystic Square. Talkington is any of the Crazy Talks that we have. Blind Valley is any of the blind modules that we have, or in this case, Blind Alley is the specific mod that's referring to. Digit Springs is referring to a digit string. 14 is referring to the number 14, which is a boss module. Question Park is referring to Question Park. You get this. You get the point. So now, when determining what neighborhood to aim at, the targeting system runs a simulation of a series of airstrikes. In the table below, each cell whose condition is true will get hit by a missile, and when the missile explodes, it hits the cell where it's landed in every cell in its row or column. Once the simulation is complete, there will be exactly one cell that was not hit by any explosions. The location of that cell is where the missile will be aimed at when the module initializes. Note, if you forget where you are, you can click on the screen, in this case, this bottom screen here, to return to the starting location. I probably should clear that up a little bit. But in this case, this screen will be your reset, this crosshair screen will be your submit. So in this case, you can simply hit this whenever you need to, and that actually is one of the rules that we're going to take a look at here. But we have a series of conditions. If we take a look here, this is referring to arrows, hours on the timestamp, status light is at a different position, buttons are triangles, target's username being whatever. So we're going to go through each of these conditions, and we're going to see which ones are true, and hopefully we can find ourselves we can figure out which position we're in. So, arrows are blue or red. No, they are purple. Hours on the timestamp is 6 or less. In this case, that is true. It is 4:45, so therefore that is true. Minutes on the timestamp is even, so in this case, the last digit is not even. In this case, it's a 5. That's not true. Arrows are blue or yellow. Nope, they are purple. Buttons are triangles. This is true, and the other case where this would not be true is when they appear as chevrons. So, for those of you who are not familiar with how a chevron looks, take a look here. If we get an image, hopefully, they're going to look like this symbol, but rotated whichever direction it might be pointing to. That's basically what you're going to look at here. Yeah, so it's a chevron, not necessarily the gas company, but that style of arrow is what you're going to see. So, in this case, the buttons are triangles, though, so that's perfect. The target's username is 10 or more letters long. In this case, our target username is Kanoko, and these will feature different members of the community. And make sure that it's important to check for letters. Not for any specific characters, but for letters, because it specifically is referring to letters, not any other characters. So that's not true. The timestamp says PM, not AM. It says AM, so that's not true. The border of the crosshair is black. So in this case, the crosshair is what we have here. It's with this little crosshair in the center. I don't know what else to describe it as. But the border of the crosshair is black. And this is referring to this sort of outer ring. If you can see where like the little dark green screen is, then there's that little outer layer. That is what's referring to the border. So in this case, that is true. For the border of the crosshair, that is indeed black. The status light is in the top half. It is not in the top half, it's in the bottom half. In this case, as you can see, it's in the bottom left. Crosshair is yellow or purple. It is yellow in this case, so therefore that is going to be true. Clicking the screen makes a sound. Now this is referring to the bottom screen here, in this case right here. It does not make a sound. Normally what you'd hear is you'd hear a little hinge tap, and hopefully I can get an example of that later on, but you'll know, trust me, you'll know when you hear a sound. So in this case, that is not true. The target's username contains an E. Kanoko does not have an E in it, that's not true. The crosshair is red or purple, it is not red or purple. The border of the message is black. Now the message itself down here is white. In this case, as you can see now, the border of this screen is white. It would be the exact opposite case if it was black, so therefore that is not true. The message is above the crosshair. Now these can potentially be flipped, so the crosshair could be down below and the message could be up top. So hopefully we'll get that in another example where you can see that's how that looks like. But in this case, that is not true, and the status light is in the right half. That is also not true, so therefore, that is going to be it. So now, with this information, what we're going to do here is we're going to take a look at every cell that we marked as true, and we're going to mark every row and column that is associated with it. So in this case, we're going to mark U, and then every row and column that we had was true. So in this case, it was here, it was here, and it was here. And therefore, this leaves us with one cell that we have left here. So in this case, that's going to correspond to the exact same position on this little top chart here, which in this case will be black null. So let's take a look at our section 2, because now we need to figure out where we're bombing this, and this is the easier part of the module here. So now, next you need to aim the missile at your target. The arrows in the module will move your crosshair in their respective directions, and if you go up the 4x4 grid, you will loop around on the other side. It's very simple. To determine which neighborhood to launch the missile at, look at the message your target sent. Depending on the topic and the stance they took, you can determine where they live. Use the for column if their message is in favor of the topic, or against the column if the message goes against the topic. So we have a series of different topics here, and I got a community poll to write me some messages for some of these themes, and you might get some themes more than others. For example, if all odd numbers have an E in them, it's a bit of a weird question. There is like 1 or 2 in there, but there are significantly more, for example, for like winter, Coca-Cola better than Pepsi, airstrikes. You get the idea. So, if we take a look at the message, it says, "Did you just try to tell me that Coca-Cola is better than Pepsi? Dead ass." So, effectively what this is saying is they are in favor of Pepsi. So in this case, if we take a look at the Pepsi condition, or the Coca-Cola condition, Coca-Cola is better than Pepsi. In this case, they are obviously disagreeing with this. They do not agree that Coca-Cola is better than Pepsi. They are like, what are you trying to tell me here? What is this shit? So, in this case, they are against Coca-Cola being better than Pepsi, so we need to go to the against column, and therefore, we're going to be going to Alarmberg. So now, let's navigate one space up to Alarmberg. Let's go up. We'll go up, and then we'll hit the crosshair screen in order to submit this on the module. And let's listen.
Launching the missile in T-minus 3, 2, 1. Target acquired.
And there we go. Just like that is a solve module. I quite like that solve sound a lot. Thank you, Fish, for that, by the way, for recording that. And that's really all there is to it. So let's get into one more example. This module itself, it's fairly simple, easy to do, as you can just see. If you have like just a couple of conditions apply right there, it's pretty straightforward. But yes, overall, nice module. I'm very pleased with how it turned out. And yeah, I couldn't be any happier to have been a part of this mod. So let's get into one more example, and let's see what we can do. If it can load anytime now. But I'm going to load up another example where I'm going to try and get some different case scenarios Preferably the message being above the crosshair. That'd be quite nice. Because I programmed it the way that like it can switch positions basically. Let's see. No, didn't quite get it this time around.
There is only
But yeah,
one
as you can see,
perfect solution,
these are the
but there
chevron
are
buttons that
clues
you'll be
will try to
getting
trick
if
our
they're
team.
not triangles. These are not triangles; these are chevrons. So just make sure that you pay attention for those when those appear. Otherwise, they're pretty straightforward and easy to see. So let's retry and let's see if we can get another example with the crosshair on the bottom. Nope, not this one. Nope. Definitely not. I am also very pleased that I got the radar screen working, just as a little modeler's note. That is arguably probably the most satisfying I've ever been with making a mod, is getting that radar screen to work. That was so good. Here we go. Now, if you take a look, the lights turn on. As you can see, they have swapped positions, so therefore, and by the way, the status light can be in any of the four corners. In this case, we just happen to get unlucky with the bottom left again. So now, let's take a look. So, let's go through the conditions again. Arrows are blue or red. They are not. They are purple again. This feels like a very similar case. Hours on the timestamp is 6 or less. It is not in this case. It is 9. So minutes on the timestamp is even. Nope. Arrows are blue or yellow. Nope. Buttons are not triangles. The target's username is 10 plus letters long. Our username is username. Hello, username. He just wanted to shorten a good username to just username. So in this case, that is not 10 plus letters long for sure. It does not say PM. The border of the crosshair is black. That is true. The status light is on the top half. Nope. The crosshair is yellow or purple. That is true. Clicking on the screen makes a sound. I did not get that sound, unfortunately. So, target's username contains an E. That is true. Username does indeed contain an E in there, so therefore we can mark that as yes. The crosshair is red or purple. Nope. The border of the message is black. The border of the message is not black. The message is above the crosshair. That is indeed true. And the status light is on the right half. That is not true. So therefore, this is all the conditions that we have. So we've got these 4 conditions here. As you can see, they take up this column, this column, this column, and they take up this row, and this row, which is a better way of marking it, and therefore we're starting at A1. So we're going to start up here at Simonsboro, and let's take a look at our topic. This manual sucks. It wouldn't even win a consolation prize, let alone round 2. So therefore, this is referring to airstrikes should win round 2 of Keep Writing So Nobody Explodes, and obviously they don't want anything to do with this manual winning, so therefore they're against the topic. Because airstrikes should win round 2 of Keep Writing, they're against that. So we're going to be going to Cycling Hills, which is just going to be 1 space to the right of us. Lovely. Let's hit the crosshair.
Launching the missile in T-minus 3, 2, 1.
And just like that,
Target acquired.
Is a solved module. So that's all there really is to it. I hope you guys really enjoyed this module and have a lot of fun with it. I enjoyed making it, and I hope you guys enjoyed as much as I did making it. It really is a clever module, clever way of doing things, but very simple at best. So that's what matters. As always, thank you guys for watching. Remember to stay crazy, stay cool, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.